No, when you just have a baby.
No, to your left, to your left.
I want to show you my husband right now. That's my husband, and that's my baby. He's been doing this for like 10 minutes because she just wants to. A couple of weeks ago, my daughter woke up around 3 o'clock, and if you know that toddlers are pretty unpredictable. And so one night, our daughter woke up and she wanted beans. She loves kidney beans for some reason, and my husband makes like the beans the way that she likes it. She went to the cupboard, she got the can of beans, brought it into our room, and she will usually say, eat the beans, which is just so funny. Um, but she did that at 3 o'clock in the morning. And she's going to my husband and she's like, eat the beans. And finally he gets up, he puts some slippers on, goes into the kitchen, starts chopping onions, starts sauteing beans, and starts making beans the way that she likes it. And I'm starting to smell food in the bedroom. I'm like, what's going on? It's almost 4 o'clock in the morning. And I go out and they're both sitting at the table. He's nearly falling asleep on his plate, and she's just sitting there eating her beans. And I share this because I get a lot of questions. As a doula, I work with a lot of different couples, and I've seen a lot of different partners and how they are during the birth space. I've seen the couples where the partner has asked for the husband stitch, or in this instance, where yes, they're playing video games the whole time and very, very inconsiderate of the birthing space. And birth is extremely powerful. I don't like to use the word traumatic because that's not always the case, but it's an extremely powerful space, and you have to know how to behave in that space. And a lot of partners, because they're not the ones going through it, can feel a bit of disconnect from it. So you have to pay attention to how they handle that disconnect. Are they still respectful? If they're not, are you willing to kick them out of that space so that way you have a peaceful environment? Which in this case, I would have definitely kicked them out of that space. A lot of men love the idea of you being a mother, but not understanding that they also have to be a father. And so often I'll get a lot of questions of, well, how do I know that my partner is ready to be a father? Or how do I know that I'm not going to be left hanging? And I want you to pay attention to, and this is what I tell most of my clients, I want you to pay attention to how they respond to inconvenience in their life. What does that mean? If you ask him to do mundane things, is he complaining about it or asking you to do it yourself? Or is he immediately ready to help you? I feel like something that stood out to me with my husband, and a couple of weeks ago I shared this story of just witnessing him while we were dating, how he was around children, and particularly around mothers, and how helpful he was just in general. But I feel like that's really important to look for, and a lot of people can see those signs very early. If he's not willing to give up, his night of video games in order to help you because you don't feel well, that is a sign. You have to pay attention to how they view you. Do they just care about all the things that you do for them, all the things that you do for the household, or are they cherishing your being, your presence, and honoring that and making sure that you have the smoothest transition into motherhood possible? Sometimes we think that if we thrust our partner into parenthood, that they'll finally step up in the ways that we need them to, when all it does is just make them resent you more and create more heartbreaking labor for you. And recognize that you deserve to thrive in every single season of your life. Your partner is going to be a huge indicator of you being able to do that. Part of the thing that helped me in my motherhood journey, and I can definitely make a separate video about this if you're struggling with it, is taking a step back and allowing my husband to feel confident in his fatherhood journey. Because I'm familiar with the birth space, it's very easy to helicopter mom and try to tell him to do things in the way that I would. But giving him room to figure out his own fatherhood journey has given him confidence to step into that a lot more clearly.